South Ostrobothnia is a region located in western Finland and home to approximately 194,000 inhabitants. The region is specifically known for its entrepreneurs, fertile countryside and versatile culture. Of all the regions in Finland, South Ostrobothnia is the one with perhaps the most distinct cultural identity. The region's own dialect, folk art, architecture, as well as entrepreneurship create a strong foundation for a flourishing local culture in the 21st century.
South Ostrobothnia is a unique region of entrepreneurial people where culture really is an important part of our living. We have good opportunities for leisure time, hobbies and also for lifelong learning. So we could be called a region of opportunities. All in all, South Ostrobothnia is a region of 4 seasons where the nature is near. One can live a good life here.
Characteristics traditionally associated with South Ostrobothnians include honesty, diligence, seriousness, fairness and courage. Modern South Ostrobothnians know their roots. Over the last few years, more and more people from other parts of the country, as well as from the rest of the world, have moved to the region. Europe's rural, isolated and peripheral regions make a substantial contribution to European culture, but are not eligible to apply for European Capital of Culture status. That's why it is important to call for the European Commission to create parallel designation to a European Capital of Culture, which celebrates rural regions, to be known as European Regions of Culture.
We wanted to start the project because I come from a rural region and we realised that it was really difficult to explain to people that culture could take place in a rural setting. And we saw a huge value in the European Capitals of Culture programme, which is not accessible for rural or isolated or peripheral regions to participate in. And so we wanted to create a new designation which would allow us to celebrate culture in rural, isolated and peripheral regions and create a new way of celebrating that culture that was relevant to those places. The point of working with these 3 regions is to have a long-term relationship between the 3 of them and to continue that in our work towards the Region of Culture designation. So there's a follow-on project which we want to step forward in with our current partners, and we would like to expand that partnership to include some other places in Europe that are different again.
South Ostrobothnia has invested in multidisciplinary cultural development, of which the European Region of Culture project is a fine example. Through this project, we aim to develop independent cultural activities, as well as the preconditions for the work of artists and cultural professionals in the rural regions of Europe. We South Ostrobothnians participate in building a significant channel of cultural development in Europe. The European Regions of Culture project is carried out in 3 partnering regions. The main partner, Cornwall from Great Britain, Kujawsko-Pomorski from Poland and South Ostrobothnia from Finland. A total of 9 cultural artists have been recruited for the project, 3 from each partnership. The recruits take part in creative workshop activities and intercultural dialogue, as well as the 3 exchange events organised within the project.
What's really interesting in the different regions that we've worked in, so we've worked obviously in 3 different countries, or we will have done when we've completed this inquiry, is that there are different conditions in each place, but there are also areas of commonality and distinctiveness, and that's what's going to come out through the inquiry. And whenever you have this kind of residency, obviously there are a number of issues you deal with and difficulties you face when you're in place, and it's a very short period of time, but it also informs the inquiry. It's also part of why we're doing it, so let's wait and see what happens. Really what's more important is with the artists that these have given them opportunities to do something. They've made new relationships, friends, they've made contacts with other people, and hopefully other cultural projects will come straight from this before any discussion around having a designation in a few years' time. Actually, it's important this is a continual process anyway, so that for me will be the ideal future. But the audience, the public audience, also sees the work that the artists make is really important. So that's when it's referred, when it's in the local paper, like it has been this week here in Lapua, and also the regional paper, and also through this conversation you and I are having for the TV. We want to get people's feedback. The public are actually really important. They're the people that eventually make the decision if this is a good idea or not. So it'd be good to know what they think.
Three of the participating cultural artists are from South Ostrobothnia: Henna Mantere, Eija Irmeli-Lahti and Panu Hemminki. Three artists with three different passions: textiles, theatre and painting.
Kyllä suomalainen ja tämä erityisesti pohjalainen luonto on hyvin rakas kyllä. Mitä vanhemmaksi tulee, sen enemmän arvostaa näitä lakeuksia. Sitten, ja hyvin paljon kyllä käytän ihan eläinhahmojakin näissä surrealistisissa maalauksissa tällaisina symboleina sitten viestittämään eri asioita. Kyllä mun mielestä ainakin se, että kaikilla on suuri intohimo luoda taidetta eri keinoin. Se vahva mielikuvitus ja sellainen voimakas luomisvimma yhdistää meitä.
Se on kyllä yksinkertaisuudessaan se, minkä näkee jossain ihmisessä tapahtuvan jonkun muutoksen. Multa kysytään, että miksi ihmisen kannattaa harrastaa teatteria, tietysti monesta syystä, mutta yksi hirveän iso syy on se, että tämä taiteen ala antaa rakennuspuita omaan elämään. Ja jos on voinut rohkaista jotain ihmistä elämään oman elämänsä rikkaammin ja syvemmin ja käyttämään omia resurssejaan paremmin ihmisenä, niin silloin mä olen tehnyt tehtäväni. Tapaan sanoa, että minulla on tällainen matkasaarnaajan sielu, jolla on annettu tämmöinen tehtävä löytää ihmisestä tällaisia asioita. Ja jokainen hetki, kun sä löydät tällaisen jonkun jutun, niin se on se palkka.
Minusta tämä on mielenkiintoinen mahdollisuus tehdä jopa vaikka koko Euroopan laajuista historiaa. Sinänsä, jos tuo hanke pääsee tavoitteisiinsa, että tällainen kulttuurimaakuntamalli saa muotonsa ja kanavansa, niin tässä voidaan tehdä vielä paljonkin asioita tämän jälkeen. Mä siis nautin eteläpohjalaisesta ympäristöstä ja sinänsä mun juuret on Etelä-Pohjanmaalla niin kuin satojen vuosien takaa, että ehkä sitä on niin kuin suorastaan vaikea ottaa jalkojensa siitä irti. Ja kyllä mä niin kuin nautin tästä kulttuurimaisemasta, mikä eteläpohjalaisella maaseudulla ympäröi.
Rural regions account for 80% of Europe's landmass and 25% of its population. The European Regions of Culture scheme's purpose would be to highlight existing cultural excellence and encourage rural regions to develop and innovate in their cultural field. For South Ostrobothnia and many other rural regions, this is a great opportunity. We want to be a nationally as well as internationally attractive, creative province of entrepreneurs. Welcome to South Ostrobothnia.